Hello friend and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into two major trends shaping our future, the copper cycle and the surge in renewable energy, especially solar power. These commodities and technologies are not only crucial for our everyday living but also offer exciting investment opportunities. Let's explore why copper and solar energy are gaining so much attention and how they might benefit investors. Well, have you ever wondered why copper prices are skyrocketing? Recently, copper prices surged past $10,000 per ton, driven by bets on the Federal Reserve rate cuts and soft US jobs data. The demand for copper is outpacing supply, and experts predict this trend will actually continue. Goldman Sachs has even revised its year-end price target to $12,000 per ton. But why is copper so important is the main question. Think of copper as the backbone of the modern economy. Its unique properties, that's its malleability, conductivity, and ductility, make it essential in many industries. Picture the vast network of electric vehicles and renewable energy infrastructure like wind turbines and solar panels. Renewable energy systems use more than 5 times more copper than traditional energy plants, and electric vehicles require significantly more copper than gasoline or diesel cars. Imagine the amount of copper needed as more countries adopt clean energy technologies. So for that, consider Tesla's rise. Tesla's success isn't just about innovative car designs, it's also about harnessing the power of copper. Every electric vehicle Tesla produces uses a substantial amount of copper, driving up the demand for its critical metal. Similarly, a single wind turbine can also use up to 5 tons of copper, highlighting its importance in renewable energy projects. The long-term demand for copper as a key component in electric vehicles and renewable energy infrastructure, including hydroelectricity, wind turbines, and solar panels, is expected to drive a substantial surge in demand over the next few decades. Demand for copper is projected to rise from 25 million metric tons to a record high of 50 million metric tons by 2035. Given that copper is a finite resource, this increase in demand could potentially create a shortage in the future. So the question you might ask yourselves is, how do we invest in copper? Well, there are several ways. One option is investing in exchange-traded commodities (ETCs), which are similar to mutual funds but traded on stock exchanges like regular stock. These funds offer a way to get general exposure to future moves in copper prices without picking individual stock. One example is Wisdom Tree's Securities Copper ETF, ticker symbol COPA. Another option is actually investing in mining companies, which tend to benefit from higher copper prices than other metals like gold. This is because mining companies are operationally leveraged, meaning that even with modest increases in copper prices, their profits can be boosted significantly. Imagine it like this: if a bakery's cost to produce a loaf of bread drops while the price of bread increases, their profit margins soar. For example, you have companies like Rio Tinto, which is a major player in the mining industry. They produce copper, aluminium, and other minerals within mines in Mongolia, Australia, and the US. Another example is Vale Resources, a Brazilian mining company that primarily produces iron ore and nickel but also has copper mines in Brazil and Canada. You also have BHP Group, headquartered in Australia, which is another major producer of copper with mines in Australia and Chile. Finally, you also have First Quantum, a Canadian-based miner generating about 80% of their revenue from copper. Now, these companies are well positioned to benefit from rising demand in copper. Other notable names include Polydien, Teck Resources, Freeport-McMoRan, and others. Whilst commodities including copper can be volatile, having a small exposure in anticipation of the next upswing can be a very smart move for investors. There's a bright future in copper and it's a great time to consider these investment opportunities. Well, as we see copper's importance rising, another sector benefiting from this trend is renewable energy, particularly solar power. Have you noticed a surge in solar energy stocks recently? Several factors are driving this rally, including new tariffs on Chinese solar panels, increasing power demand, and government incentives. For example, First Solar stock surged by more than 40% recently due to increased electricity usage in data centers driven by artificial intelligence. The transition to clean energy is driving substantial investments in renewable energy sources, particularly solar power. In recent years, there has been a noticeable shift of energy investments from traditional fossil fuels to renewable and sustainable energy sources. Investors with a long-term perspective are witnessing substantial returns from clean energy stocks, particularly when contrasted with investments solely focused on fossil fuels. In Europe, the energy crisis stemming from the Ukraine war and a heightened focus on decarbonizing the economy and combating climate change have resulted in a significant surge in investments in renewable energy. Recent data from Ember think tank indicates that in 2023, wind power surpassed fossil fuel gas as a primary source of electricity generation in Europe for the first time. Wind and solar energy together accounted for a record 27% of the EU bloc's electricity production last year, marking an all-time high. Concurrently, coal and gas experienced a notable decline, with coal hitting an all-time low of just 12% of EU electricity generation. So the question now remains, why focus on solar? Solar power offers scalability in both domestic and industrial markets. Unlike wind turbines or hydroelectricity power, solar power can be adopted by households. In the US, about one-third of solar generation comes from small-scale installations. This makes solar power an attractive option for both individual homeowners and large-scale energy providers. A recent report from Bloomberg highlighted a positive outlook for photovoltaic solar powers, with significant growth anticipated, primarily led by China. Despite challenges like the high interest rate, inflation, supply chain bottlenecks, and network bottlenecks, the outlook for solar remains strong. The future of technology is driving us towards a cleaner and more cost-efficient electricity source. AI is projected to soon demand more electricity than the entire European continent. This shift to cleaner electricity generation, widespread electrification, and enhanced energy efficiency is crucial for our economy. Major solar companies to watch include First Solar, Enphase Energy, and Nextracker. These companies are outperforming the market and benefiting from the increased demand for clean energy. Enphase Energy, for example, is significantly below the highs from late 2022. Presenting a potential opportunity for investors as the stock stabilizes and peers move higher. Investing in copper and solar energy offers exciting opportunities as we transition to a cleaner, more sustainable future. So what do you think? Are you ready to explore these growing sectors, whether it's through commodities, mining companies, or renewable energy stocks? There are various ways to gain exposure to these trends. Well friends, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section below. So what are your thoughts on the future of copper and solar energy? Have you invested in any of these sectors? Let us know in the comment section below. Until then, let's stay connected and let's continue exploring the future of investing together. Bye for now.